Good day everyone. Today we will be going to discuss about the introduction to key concepts. At the end of the lesson, the students are expected to explain the feature and critical attributes of the 21st century literacies, compare the basic concepts of traditional literacies and 21st century literacies and skills, and apply the basic strategies for developing literacy in teaching. So now let's proceed to the first topic, which is the definition of traditional literacy. First is traditional literacy. It is the basic skills of reading and writing that have been taught in formal educational settings for centuries. Functional literacy is the ability to use reading, writing, and other communication skills to effectively function in society.
Traditional literacy includes things like being able to read and write, while functional literacy is about being able to use those skills in everyday life.
Early literacy or emergent literacy. It refers to the development of pre-reading and pre-writing skills in young children. And basic literacy and skills refers to the foundational skills needed for reading, writing, and communication.
Early literacy or emergent literacy serves as the foundation that children build before formal reading and writing instruction. Finally, basic literacy skills encompass a range of abilities related to communication and critical thinking.
So, the definitions of the 21st century literacies. The 21st century literacies and skills. First is globalization and multicultural literacy. It is the understanding of different cultures and the ability to interact with people from different backgrounds. Social literacy. It is the ability to interact with others in a respectful and meaningful way. Media literacy is the ability to critically evaluate media messages.
Globalization and multicultural literacy is about understanding and appreciating different cultures and perspectives. Social literacy involves being able to navigate social situations and relationships, while media literacy is about being able to critically analyze and evaluate media messages.
Financial literacy, it is the ability to understand and manage money. Cyber or digital literacy is the ability to use technology and the internet safely and effectively. Eco literacy is the ability to understand nature and its environment, and arts and creativity literacy is the ability to use creative thinking to find solutions and create art.
Financial literacy is defined as the ability to manage money and make sound financial decisions, while cyber or digital literacy is about being able to use technology effectively and safely. Eco-literacy, however, involves understanding environmental issues and taking action to protect the planet, while art and creativity literacy is about being able to express ourselves creatively.
Yes. So,
In real life, these literacies can be applied to everyday tasks such as forming relationships, making decisions, finding jobs, managing finances.
yes. So now the features of 21st century teaching and learning.
21st century learning and teaching is used to describe a shift in education from the tradition methods of the past to a more modern approach. Below are the 21st century teaching and learning, technology integration, collaborative learning, inquiry-based learning, personalized learning, critical thinking skills, and global connections.
Yes. So now let's proceed to the critical attributes of the 21st century education.
Integrated and interdisciplinary, technologies and multimedia, global classrooms, creating or adapting to constant personal and social change and lifelong learning, student-centered, 21st century skills, project-based and research-driven, and relevant rigorous and real-world.
Yes, so the integrated and interdisciplinary. This is a kind of teaching or an education that emphasizes the connection between different academic disciplines, allowing students to gain a more holistic understanding of the material. So this is a kind of education where it not only focus on one topic or one subject, but also will related to other subjects.
For example, is one subject is we can able to link one subject to another subject.
Yes, so technologies and multimedia. So when we hear technologies, it is a kind of the use of technology such as laptops, computers, and other technologies that can be used on research. So, in technologies and multimedia, this kind of teaching or education is that we can use this to research something because technology helps us to uh, helps us to um to make our the world be faster. So global classrooms. So global classrooms, when we talk about global classrooms, it will also relate to internationally. So there is a kind when we use technologies as a research, we will also be researching different kind of cultures on different countries internationally.
In short, it exposed students to international and multicultural experiences that enhance academic performances.
So now it's creating or adapting to constant personal and social change and lifelong learning. So this kind of teaching, critical attributes of the 21st century education or a kind of teaching is that when the educator will give an instructions or a topics that has to be learned that have to be learned by the students uh, l- should not only apply those knowledge that he or she has taken from the teachers inside the school, but will also use it on the long journey of his or her lifetime. So the students must be able to create and adapt to constant and personal and social change and be able to engage in lifelong learning.
Student centered means teachers act as facilitators, coaching students as they work on authentic projects. Students are allowed to make choices of their preferred learning style in order to motivate them in gaining knowledge.
Yeah, so student centered will only focus on the development of the students. For example, the educators will give things that can be challenged by the students for her or for the students to learn at his own pace. So in 21st century skills,
It means that the students should not only focus on writing and reading but also develop other skills that would help them cope with life in 21st century.
yes, it should have the collaboration, creativity, and critical thinking. And then the project based and research driven. So the project based and research driven.
Teachers utilize projects as well as other products and performances as assessments to determine students' achievement and needs.
Yes, a project based and research driven is that, for example, the educators are a kind of teaching wherein we will be using or we the educators will be using or will be giving our research project or research study so that the students will enhance on his or her skills in researching. And finally, the relevant, rigorous, and real world.
It means that the educator should apply, the topic should be applied in a real life situation for so that the students can uh, para magamit siya sa students for a lifelong learning.
Yes, or going back to their project based and research driven, it helps the students to explore the material in a meaningful way and gain a deeper understanding. And here are the relevant and rigorous and real world for providing students with the skills and knowledge they need to succeed in their future endeavors. So now let's going to go to the basic strategies and for developing literacy. So here we can use these strategies in teaching the making connections, visualizing, inferring, questioning, determining importance, and synthesizing. So here in making connections, of course, as we are going to teach to the students, we have to have a connection to the students, or the students will have a connection to his or her teacher. And then the visualizing. In visualizing, the educators should present visual aids or visual pictures so that the students will also gain more knowledge, or mas makasabot sila because there is a nagpresent og visuals. And then inferring. So here in inferring, it is a kind of strategy that requires students to read between the lines and conclude what the author in the lines is trying to convey through clues. So for example, there's a story, and then naay mga the students will be able to read on the lines. And then questioning, of course. But in teaching, we will also apply this questioning so that the students will be tested on if nakasabot ba sila, or they have gained knowledge from what has the teacher nga unsay topic sa teacher. So in determining importance in overall teaching, we have to talk or discuss to the students how important the topics that he or she is referring to, or she is discussing to. And then synthesizing. So here in synthesizing is a kind of process of merging ideas over the course of a text in order to further understanding. So this is like summarizing. Synthesizing requires readers to read the full story. So that could be all. Thank you so much.